Am I the asshole? For not rejecting my boyfriend's family's Diwali gift before accepting it? My boyfriend's mother gifted me $21 for Diwali, which I was totally not expecting. She gave me an envelope when I was leaving after the celebrations and I was surprised, thanked her, and gave her a hug. My boyfriend later told me I was supposed to reject the gift, and only accept it after they insist I take it. I learned this is a cultural thing. This made me feel terrible because in my culture as an American, I feel rude denying gifts in any shape or form unless it's like a really inappropriate scenario like work or something. I was actually mildly uncomfortable with her giving me money, since I didn't feel that I deserved anything and didn't bring them a gift, but didn't want to reject it and make her feel uncomfortable. This is because I also have been on the side where I offer help, advice, or a physical gift and feel bad when it's unwanted by the recipient. I feel like I've offended his mother for not being humble enough to reject the gift the first time she handed it to me. Then I realized that in the past I had sent his sister a Venmo of $101 for her wedding, after which she sent it back to me at the time, was confused and thought I made her uncomfortable by sending her a wedding gift. But now, as I think about it, was she expecting me to insist that she take my wedding gift after she rejected it the first time, like send the Venmo again? I feel so weird and like I'm the asshole in his whole family's eyes. Sounds like your BF is the R here. He's the one who knows his family's cultural expectations and yours, so he's the one who has the ability to point out mismatches. This is not true for all Indian families. I've never heard of refusing a monetary gift when it is given. I have heard of thanking them in person or in a note. Source: I'm first-generation Indian American. Not the asshole, even if it is a cultural thing. Personally, I hate the you have to pretend to reject before they offer. Not a knock against the culture because that seems to be common in a few places. But if someone offers you something, it's just weird to have a back and forth over it, and I hate the idea that the back and forth is required. It's just kind of annoying. It would be a lot cooler if people said what they mean and didn't dance around stuff like this. TBH. I'm Indian, this is bullshit. Yeah, we always go why auntie? There's no need and they will insist and then we accept the gift. But even if we just accept the gift directly, nobody comments on the lack of initial rejection. I'd get what kind of mind games these people play, but it's not normal. Also, does your BF's mum actually have an issue with this, or is it just your BF? 'Cause you have a bigger issue if it's the latter. What it is the meaning of the additional $1? Why not $20 or $100? Damn, UBF didn't clue you in on any of these expectations or cultural norms, knowing his culture is different from the one you grew up in. The only I see here is him for leaving you out to dry. Not the asshole. I'm Indian and this is dumb. Not the asshole. That kind of rejecting behavior is more common among families that have known each other for years. Also, it's something stupid our parents made us do if uncles or aunties tried to give us money. If he wanted you to reject it, he should have told you in advance. It's dumbass. Nata. And really, your BF should have told you this. Come on, guy. Not the asshole. My advice: when your boyfriend proposes, reject his offer of marriage a couple of times to make up for this. They tend to do this annoying shit in China too, so I've been in this situation before. Awkward as it is, their cultural norms are different from yours, so there's no way you could have known the proper thing to do here. Don't sweat it, and make sure your BF is more forward about other cultural hurdles you might have to jump across. Not the asshole, of course. Your boyfriend could have communicated to you all of this prior to any gift giving at all. How are you supposed to know the culture if he doesn't share these? The asshole, not you. Not the asshole. If there were like cultural implications, he should have given you a heads up. Not the asshole. You have different cultures and upbringings. Surely they have to understand that. You did not know. I don't think anyone can call you TA for something you didn't understand at the time. Not the asshole. Surely they have lived in North America long enough to realize that non-Indians will just say thanks and accept a gift. Not the asshole, but your BF is. He was supposed to explain you the cultural expectations to you. How can you know about someone else's culture, unless you are given guidance? Nah. This is actually a pretty common misunderstanding. I had two college linguistics professors who were married. She was Greek, he was American. One Thanksgiving he invited her home to meet his family. Everyone's getting along great and his mom asks his then girlfriend if she wants more mashed potatoes. Being polite, she refused, so the mom offered the potatoes to everyone else. It seems in Greek culture, you're supposed to say no and then eventually give in. Eventually my teacher got up the courage to ask if there were more potatoes, but they were all gone. 22M Indian here. Not the asshole, you weren't aware of it so you are not at fault. It's not a custom tbh, you can either give her a thanks or hesitate taking it saying that it's not needed, but in the end take it anyway. Many Indians choose the latter. Not to asshole, and honestly people who get upset about cultural things as petty as that need to learn to live in the modern world. Personally I don't like gifts, and if offered things I almost always reject them. I can't stand when someone tries to force something I politely rejected onto me. People need to learn to act like adults with common sense. If you give someone something, don't be offended when they accept it. The back and forth insistent thing is merely to stroke the giver's ego. Give the gift or don't, but don't make it an issue when it's not. NABF should have educated you about the cultural norm, but I give him a pass too, as when it comes to cultural norms sometimes we forget they aren't universal norms. Hopefully it just wasn't something that occurred to him until he saw what happened. I'm wondering what's with the ones? EA. 101 instead of 121 instead of 20. Nah. This just sounds like a miscommunication. You didn't know about this part of their culture and they assumed you did. Now you know for the future. Not the asshole. Normally would have gone with nah, but BF had plenty of opportunities to explain the custom. Edit apologized to his mom too. It wasn't her fault. Not the asshole. Different cultures have different expectations, but you and your boyfriend need to communicate about this if it's going to work for you too. He will need to run a bit of interference for you with his family and explain that in your culture, gift giving and receiving is different than in his theirs to explain any past transgressions. Now that you know what the expectations are in his their culture, you can respond the way they might expect you to. Similarly, he may respond to gifts from your family in a way that they find strange, and you can then step in on his behalf. Not the asshole. How were you supposed to know that? Your boyfriend knew well that you'd receive a gift since I saw something about celebrating, so he could have warned you. As for his sister, you could explain it to her and maybe give her something now. Not the asshole, your so should have explained the cultural expectations to you. Nah, it's a miscommunication brought on by cultural differences. But you are trying, and his family seem to be trying to include you as well, even after missteps. Your BF is hopefully pointing out to his family your customs as well as pointing out his family's customs. Now you know, and can plan giving and receiving gifts in the future. Not the asshole, how were you supposed to know? Your BF should have explained that before you met up with the parents if he wanted you to adapt to his culture. However, assuming you live in the US, it's actually more important for your BF to explain to his parents the basics of American culture around such things. Because that's where they are living. And they can't expect everyone they interact with to know or have a source from where to get the correct information how to react according to their Indian culture. They have no reason to feel offended every time.